You're listening to TG1F, an F1 podcast with Kate and Nicole.
We're your hosts. I'm Kate.
And I'm Nicole.
And this is our show, where we talk about all things Formula One.
And a lot of things that are not Formula One, too.
Because why the heck not?
This is your formal invitation to a weekly hangout with your F1 BFFs, where we'll talk on-track action, off-track gossip, and throw in some hot pop culture topics.
It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned F1 fan, a curious newbie, or literally just think the drivers are hot. Because they are. There's a little something in this podcast for everyone.
Speaking of which, did you hear what happened this week?
No, tell me about it.
It's lights out and away we go, baby.
She is from Home Goods.
Classic.
And I just felt like she was a... What?
Classic.
A classic. I've just felt like she was good vibes to have in the studio. She's with me own money. Don't worry. She didn't come out of our podcast studio budget. Don't worry.
I told you your budget.
That for important things.
Your budget is for you to do whatever.
Dwindling.
Well,
my budget is dwindling.
We got to make more money. We spent it all. We don't have any cash.
These chairs were 60% of our budget. So I gotta do what I got to do over here. We're scraping pennies together. What is that? We're pinching pennies.
Yeah. Pinching pennies.
Penny pinching.
Well, I'm excited to see what you've done with it in the 6 weeks that I've been gone.
Okay, I have 4 weeks to get it better. Nothing's different at the moment.
You have a new pillow.
True. I have one new pillow and a new janky setup for my microphone. And that, my friends, is about it.
To me personally,
doing
that's
this
great.
Right here makes me kind of want to cut my hair short again, but I know I can't do that.
Why?
Because we told each other on this podcast that we're not allowed to, like I said, don't let me cut my hair short again. And you said, make me cut my hair short again. So.
I know, now I'm second guessing if I want to cut my hair short. So.
Well, we can't both have long hair, Nicole. We already discussed this. Mine just won't grow. I feel like it's been at this length forever. You know, a constant struggle.
Well, I think it looks good.
Thanks. I hate it.
I'm sorry. All right.
I love you.
I thank you for accommodating me for a later recording hour. Disney absolutely tore me apart in the best way possible.
I knew it was gonna, dude. When you were like, "Are you sure you don't want to do it tonight?" Like, I think I'm okay, and I was like, "No." I know that feeling. I was like, it's 2 p.m. right now, Nicole. You've hit like the peak of the day where you're like, actually, I'm good. Like, I'm going to be fine. And I was like, minute you step back into your own home, or like the minute it turns 5 p.m., you're going to be dead again.
The minute I actually stepped foot into my bedroom again, it was going to be real difficult.
Lights
to
out.
Not just lay. It was going to be a laying episode for me, I think, if we had recorded it yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm going to just give you a pass on this one, and I will let you off.
Thank you.
I'll let you off with
Thank
a warning.
you so much. Well, I'm happy to be here today. I'm excited. Back on the F1 scene. Yeah, what should we name her? What is the vibe? What is the aura she's giving you?
I don't know, but the one name that came to my head was Dottie.
Dottie? I love her.
Dot. This is Dot.
It's kind of ironic because she's actually checkered.
I know, it's kind of funny like that, you know? It's like kind of like if you know, you know. This is Dot. I don't know. I feel like she's giving me like friendly, like grandma. Like she'd bake you cookies if you were sad.
Yeah.
She's just comforting.
She's actually giving the mascots that we have on our stickers, the Why Be Upset When You Can Just Have Fun stickers. Yeah, exactly.
This is Dot.
Okay. Riley will have to make a new version with the hard eyes.
Yeah.
And Dot will be her name.
Immortalized.
Yeah. Put her in my chair.
Dot's the new mascot.
Put her in my chair. She'll fill in my space until I'm back.
No, I like to cuddle her.
What are we drinking?
It's a fun little mocktail that I've been making.
What is it?
Summer season is here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
ASMR. Yeah. So it's like black cherry juice with a lime spindrift.
Like a little lime Ricky moment.
Oh, raspberry lime Ricky. And then I didn't put a lime wedge in it or like wheel in it because I ran out of time. But I also do have I want to get like I have cherries, but I want to have them and put them in the freezer.
I love
I
that.
did that the other day for us. I didn't put them in the freezer first, but I have them. But I got cherries with the pits in it, so it's just like it's like tedious,
I know.
And I'm just like,
as
at what cost?
as annoying as this is to have, I want a pitter. Like I want a
I
little thing that
know.
pits it.
Okay, but I've seen a lot of people do it with metal straws.
Okay, let me tell you, I tried it and it's so hard. It makes
Oh,
such a
damn.
mess because you have to like hold it, and then sometimes the pits are really hard, and then it gets messy and it like juices everywhere.
Mm,
Listen, I've tried it and it
I
didn't go that
believe
well
you.
for me. Maybe if the cherries are super ripe and the pits come out really easy, but if they're underripe, they are
Yeah.
stuck to that flesh. They're not coming out.
Hate the way you just described that. Yeah. Got it. Anyways, moving on.
Sorry.
Hate it. Well, welcome back from Disney. I missed you. Felt like we didn't chat at all. I literally looked at our like last text and it was like before you went to Disney and you were just like, I'll
I
talk to you when I'm home.
I literally didn't talk to anyone while
Do
I was
not
gone.
contact. Don't call, don't text. She's at
And
Disney.
part of the reason why is because I had to conserve my phone battery
Mm,
because I was content czar this weekend and I
got
was
it.
on TikTok duty.
Naturally.
I was filming content, I was creating content for the group, and I needed to conserve energy
Naturally. I
to be
mean, I
able
get
to
it.
do that. So,
Listen, I get it. I get it. I just missed you.
it's hard to be the influencer in the group.
It is. Yep. I feel that. Dot gets it.
Doc gets it.
She's the influencer in her group. People that are not watching this are gonna be like, what the fuck are they talking about? Anyways. Well, I missed you. I'm glad you had a good weekend. It looked very, very fun. It was an off weekend for F1, so you didn't miss
Mhm.
anything, which is good.
Thank
The good
God.
news. But we're back now.
Well, I missed a
We're
little bit. We'll get into this, but like I watched Lewis's Hot Ones on the train home today because I like haven't been able to, like, I literally haven't had time to like sit down and watch it. So I'm like,
Okay,
what?
roll the tape. Roll the tape of Nicole last week saying, when that comes out, I will be in Disney on my phone watching Hot Ones the minute
I
it drops.
know. I will be at Disney World, but you bet your bottom dollar that at 1 p.m. when that episode drops, I'm watching. I know, I'm a fake
Roll the
fan. I'm a
tape.
liar. I'm an actress. Get the
She's a
fuck out.
thespian.
You are a liar. You are a liar, actress. Get the fuck out.
That's Davide from last year's Love Island.
You do not say that. That is my thing.
You deserve an Oscar.
She went to Toto's camp for thespians.
I was convincing though, wasn't I? You all believed me. Sorry.
I didn't believe you, but it was okay. I knew you weren't gonna. Well,
Let's
I
get
think it's
into
time to
some
get into
silly.
it.
You know what I did miss? I missed some silly season updates this
Well,
weekend.
before we do that,
Some.
we got to do a grand preview.
Oh, you're right.
The Montreal Grand Preview.
So sorry.
We have the Montreal. Okay, I don't know what. So you know what? I'm a composer. Obviously, we chatted about this. So I've been composing intros for all of these segments.
Okay, fantastic. Because Kenny told me he would make little jingles for us.
Perfect. So I'll just have to dictate. I
Yeah.
would say I would send him a voice note, but
No,
alas,
you
I'll send them
you
to you.
can actually send voice memos to people with Androids.
Okay. So I'll get him. I'll get them to him.
Just get the vision.
I think it's kind of cheeky though when it's me doing it live. But anyways, I don't know what to do for Grand Prix Cap or Grand Preview. I don't know what to do for those. It's not really coming to me like I wish it would. You know.
Okay.
So we're just gonna let that one marinate. But anyways, it is the Montreal Grand Preview segment of our podcast right now. So we have Montreal this weekend. We love the Montreal race mostly because we love the Montreal food.
Yeah, I
Montreal
love the
menu
Montreal menu.
is a classic.
And I'm very
Poutine,
excited.
put it in my mouth. Put the
I'm very
poutine right here.
Tomorrow at work, a bunch of us are going to the Yankees game, and it's what
Fun.
we've dubbed Fun Shirt Thursday. And
Mm.
so for Fun Shirt Thursday this week, we're doing jerseys, and I will be wearing my Montreal Grand Prix hockey jersey tomorrow.
Mhm.
The one time a year I pull it out for the Montreal Grand Prix.
I know. I have a wedding. It's like a barbecue like reception, wedding
Mhm.
reception.
You
Starts
gonna
at
wear your
1.
Are you gonna wear your jersey to the barbecue wedding reception?
It's a barbecue. It's a wedding. It's a barbecue.
You
Combination
can't.
barbecue wedding.
She's wearing white to the wedding, folks.
I'm wearing white to the wedding. Yeah, no, I absolutely shan't be doing that. I actually don't know what I'm gonna wear, but I'm very sad that I'm gonna miss the race and I won't be eating poutine
Don't
unless I
worry.
call her up and I'm like, listen,
I'll have seconds just for you.
put poutine on the menu for the wedding.
I'll remember when we made the sugar pie last year and it was like so watery and we kept
Yes,
shaking it and it was just like pure liquid no matter how long we kept it
it
in the
was
oven.
liquid sugar. Like it was like as if we just took corn syrup and put it in a pie crust and we're just serving it
I would really love to experience that as like a
as it's meant to.
Canadian yeah, like as it's meant to be baked and as it's meant to be consumed because the way
Yeah,
that we did it just was not it was
I don't
not
think we
in.
did it right. We were, as we usually are when we're making these, especially when we're on Cape Cod doing them, sleep deprived, maybe
One.
hungover, not doing well.
Well, and also working in a very small kitchen
Yes.
with a half of an oven.
Well, we had both. We used both last year. So technically, we actually had like a kitchen and a half.
Oh, TBT. I miss those days.
Yeah. So Montreal's this weekend, and I feel like Montreal always gives us a good race. It's fun. The groundhogs are on track.
Mm-hmm.
There are always groundhogs there. And I would like to say a quick fun anecdote, if you will. The Montreal Grand Prix, what are they? What did I just call them? Groundhogs?
Groundhogs? I was like, where are we going?
My brain just literally short circuited for a second. Like I just
You were
short circuited.
looking at me like I had three heads. Like I said something so offensive to you. You were like,
No, I was looking at myself. I was looking myself in the eyes on the computer, just being like, hello? Plug yourself back in. Uh Anyways, the groundhogs at Montreal are how I realized that I had a groundhog in my backyard in college.
interesting.
Yeah. There was a little creature. There was a little woodland creature that was always in my backyard in college. And I lived in what was a converted garage, basically, like 3-season porch, but then they made it a bedroom. It was definitely
Perfect.
not supposed to be a bedroom, but it
Super above,
was.
super above, like super code.
Yeah, it was fine. I had windows on every wall of my room, basically. Like I was just in
A fishbowl.
aquarium. Like
Yeah.
it was a greenhouse. But so I was in the backyard. I was a member of the backyard animal population, and there was one little woodland creature that would just be outside my window all the time, just burrowing away, having a good old time. And I had no idea what it was. And I was like, it's not a porcupine, it's not a gopher, it's not like a raccoon, it's not a possum. I didn't know what it was. And I didn't know really what to Google either. I was like
You're like,
mid-sized brown backyard animal. It was just like a cat. But then I saw the groundhogs at the Montreal Grand Prix, and they were like, "Oh, the groundhogs are back!" And I was like, "I know what that is," and that's how I figured it out.
my brother used to have one in his college apartment too, and then it died. I think it got ran over by a
In his
car.
college apartment,
Mm-hmm.
inside.
No, it lived in the backyard.
Okay,
And
Kyle,
it died. I think it got run over by a car and they buried it and put a cross up for it.
as they should,
So
as it deserves.
yeah.
They're very cute.
I love those little groundhogs. They're so cute. I hope
I
for
don't
the
really
best
have
for
much
them.
else to say about Montreal. Sorry. Like,
Um
it's happening. I'm excited about it. It's a good race.
well, I
Hoping we continue to see. Oh, there is a little fun rumor because so we obviously talked about Charles' wizardry
mhm.
last week and how he wrote songs and released songs, and all of those have now had race winners that aren't Max. Well,
Mhm.
someone else pointed out it's all the races that start with M.
Mhm.
and Montreal also starts with M.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's see if it's the curse of the M for Max or the curse of Charles.
Yeah.
TBD. We'll be seeing this weekend.
I mean, you have this in the 2:00 news, but I also think this goes for the Montreal Grand Prix, is that both Mercedes will have a new front wing and are
They will.
bringing other upgrades in Canada.
Yeah,
So
so George had that front wing in Monaco, and they were really happy with how it performed. Lewis did not. He had chosen to stay with the original front wing, and they kind of A/B tested it. But they will both have it for Montreal, and they have a couple other upgrades that they're bringing as well. So hopeful to see them make some steps forward.
maybe Lewis will outqualify George despite his best efforts to sandbag.
Maybe he'll keep us on our toes for another week and say they thought maybe I would do this, but I'm not gonna yet. He's
He's
biding his
waiting.
time.
He's biding his time. He's waiting for Silverstone to really whip that out
Oh
and
yeah.
show up and show out in front of the home crowd. All
All
right, and
right.
that's Montreal. We'll do a recap next week.
A pre-cap next week. Yeah. All right. And now it's time for the 2 Girls O'Clock news. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the 2 o'clock news. We've got breaking news, we've got fun news, we've got sad news, we've got all types of news on this segment, and every week we'll be here breaking down what you need to know in the world of F1. My name is Kate. I'm joined by my co-host Nicole, and this is your news at the top of the hour.
Perfect. No, it's
just right off the top of my head.
All
right. First things first, we need to talk about is silly season. An update on silly season. As we all know, things are kicking off. This is about the time of year that things are really start cooking in the F1 paddock, and we have a couple updates of situations that we've been watching.
We have.
So as Jon Snow says, and now my watch is over because we have answers
for a handful.
So first,
should we try and do the 2 o'clock news in our best news anchor voices?
I don't know if I can go there mentally all the time.
And this just in, silly season updates. Esteban Ocon. What do we have, Kate?
Well, Nicole, I'm reporting live.
I'm going live to the fields.
I'm live on site in the 2 Girls 1 Formula podcast studio, reporting that this just in. Esteban Ocon and Alpine will be parting ways at the end of the 2024 season. This comes after rampant rumors and reports of tensions inside the team. Esteban Ocon not necessarily getting along with his French counterpart, the squirrely Pierre Gasly. Famously, they are not friends because Esteban cannot say that word. He tries to...
Esquiel Pierre.
Pierre. Well, you got me out of my news.
Sorry.
Anyways, I'm going back to normal. This is now just Kate. This is just Kate, not news anchor Kate. So Esteban, as we've heard, reports of Esteban not getting along with his teammate and kind of some tensions inside the team that we are not fully apprised of. But at the end of this season, Esteban and Alpine will be parting ways. They both released statements thanking each other for their time. This comes after Monaco, where we saw things kind of come to a head with an on-track collision between Esteban and Pierre that resulted in both of them unable to finish the race. This is something we've discussed this in the past. We discussed this as recently as last week, what we thought was going to happen. There were rumors that Esteban was going to be out as soon as this coming weekend for the Montreal Grand Prix. But as of right now, it looks like he will still be driving for the remainder of the season and just leaving at the end. So, Nicole, what are we thinking? What are our thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, last week I said that I didn't think that he was going to be out this week. Like, I was like, I don't think that they're that brash. I don't think it warrants that level of punishment for what has gone on between the two of them. But I'm really curious to see who Alpine picks up. We have been chatting about rumors of a potential Mick pickup at Alpine. So now that Esteban's out, those rumors do carry a little bit more weight. I am not sure if they're 100% solidified, so I'll give them a P2. There's not a foundation, but it's not overwhelmingly showing that that's going to be true.
We have
But
also heard there is the possibility of Jack Doohan taking the seat, who is stepping in for Esteban this weekend for FP1.
P1, yes.
He'll be taking Esteban's car out for FP1. So is this kind of a sign of the times? Is this something that we should be keeping an eye on? They're kind of testing him out, seeing how he does in an F1 car, in Esteban's car.
Right.
To see how he may be as that second driver. Who knows?
So we'll see about that, as well as we know that Toto is Esteban's manager.
Correct.
We also know there is going to be an open seat at Mercedes at the end of the season. Is there a possibility for an Esteban pickup at Mercedes? Do I think it's necessarily the right move? No, but I also don't think that Mercedes is in a place to be winning a championship next season anyway. So I think that Toto can get his bag still and pick up a driver that's comfortably midfield.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting, the dynamics that this kind of throws, because I don't necessarily think people saw this coming. I think, of course, there were rumors, but I don't know if people really... I mean, I don't think anyone came into this season thinking that the 2025 Alpine team was not going to be
right
here in Esteban. It seemed pretty solid and like something that Alpine was kind of bought in for. So I'm really intrigued to see how that shakes up the driver market. Something else that's really going to shake up the driver market, Checo Perez. Sergio Checo Perez has been signed for 2 more seasons at Red Bull Racing. And to say that we are shocked.
When I tell you, if you gun to my head, asked me if I thought Checo was going to be re-signed, I would have confidently said no.
I had to double check that it wasn't like F1 troll.
I thought it was a poo crave. Poo crave. Like, I literally did not believe that was true. I said, that's unlikely.
And I mean, to his credit, he has done pretty well this year. He's stayed pretty consistently close to max. I don't know. I'm shocked. I just felt like they were ready for a change. Like, I just assumed that Red Bull was ready for a change. Yeah. I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it is maybe their mindset. But I was quite honestly flabbergasted.
I was almost in tears, honey. I was like, no shot. But I guess there is a shot.
This lends more credibility to our theory that Carlos is going to Williams. Because now we thought that like the next best seat, the seat that he would most likely be like kind of coveting, would be Red Bull. So super interesting. I feel like this changes a lot of things. Like this changes. I think everyone was waiting to see who was going to be second driver at Red Bull, because like I kind of feel like this was the domino that needed to fall for the rest of the grid to get. Like, because I think everyone was kind of angling for that seat. Like everyone was like, okay, Red Bull's been so dominant the past couple of years. Like if there's a chance that I can get that second seat, I'm going to wait for it and I'm going to try for it. I'm going to wait for that door to shut before I commit to anything else. So I feel like now that door is fully shut from Red Bull, we're going to see other people committing. I feel like now it'll be the race, like a race to, announce your seat.
Yeah. So what do we have open still? We have a second Mercedes seat open. We now have an Alpine seat open.
Correct.
We allegedly don't have anything at Aston Martin, but who's to say what's going to shake out with Lance?
At Ferrari.
Nothing's open at Ferrari. We have a seat at Haas because Nico's going to Sauber.
Correct. We have too many seats at Sauber, like kick Sauber. Like there are too many people, too little seats.
We don't know if they're re-signing Logan, but the likelihood of that is slim at this point. So can you imagine if like they actually do re-sign Logan and Carlos goes back to Alpine?
Or Carlos doesn't get a drive?
My God, what if Carlos is not?
I don't think there is a world in which Carlos is not on the grid next year.
I don't think so either. But
what if you probably cancel a contract, like void a contract with a driver to get Carlos before Carlos didn't have a seat. You know what I mean?
Like, what if he angled too hard? He was like, I'm too good. And then everyone was like, okay, we'll play chicken. And then he played chicken too hard and he doesn't get a seat. It'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. I would bet a lot of money that does not happen.
I guess
I'm
we'll
pretty
find out.
convinced he'll be on the grid. I don't know where.
I do too, but I'll be stunned if he ends up without a seat next season.
Anything could happen is like the craziest thing, is that like quite literally anything could happen.
Yeah.
Hate it. All right. Another thing that I want to talk about here is Charles Leclerc, an investment king. And Charles just announced, we know that Charles is very into watches. He's had several of them stolen from him over the years. He's always kind of iced out with watches and jewelry. And he just recently invested in a watch reseller company called Chrono24, which I am intimately familiar with, seeing as that is the site on which I bought Nick's wedding gift, which was a vintage Rolex. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that I bought a watch from Charles, and Nick's Rolex actually kind of came from Charles Leclerc, which is kind of fun.
He better cherish that.
He better. Charles better sell me something better too. So that's kind of fun and interesting, and I feel like it's something that we've been talking a lot about is like drivers off track and like what they're doing with their money and their investments away from the track. And I think it's really
investing
fun
in watches. He's investing in real estate. He's building his portfolio. He's gonna franchise Lec. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so good. So I don't know. I think it's kind of fun to see what these athletes are doing. We see it in F1. Obviously, Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton are kind of the two biggest examples of people that have ventures outside of the track. Danny too, but we also see it in other sports. We see, Travis Kelce is an investor in Alpine. It's just really fun to see what people are like finding value in. I don't know.
Speaking
I'm
of
always
Travis
intrigued
Kelce,
by what?
who's gonna be the first F1 driver to make Kelsey Fest? Who's going to be the first F1 driver to have a music festival in their name?
So true.
It's got to be Charles or Danny.
I feel like it would be Danny or Lewis.
Ricardo Fest would go so hard. The lineup would be sick because he's friends with a lot of the
it would be really
artists.
Good.
Like, it would be so good. I would be there in a heartbeat. I would be. I'd be like, sorry, I'm booked and busy. 3-day GA, 3-day VIP for Ricardo Fest. I'm there.
Ricardo Fest. I can't. All right, we already talked about Mercedes having new front wings in Montreal, so I'm really excited to see kind of where that takes them in this championship battle, because we know that they have been desperately clawing at success since they were knocked off of their podium by Red Bull a couple of years ago. But something else that I think is really interesting and something else that could really shake up the grid a little bit, similar to how we were talking about these moves by Checo and Esteban could shake up the silly season grid. This could shake up the grid as we see it visually. So the FIA and F1 are in talks right now to kind of put into effect a rule that would mean that the F1 cars have to be more distinguishable from each other as soon as next season, which I personally am a huge fan of, because I think it's very fucking annoying watching the screen and you have so many cars that just like look the same. Like everyone wants to be like blue or have some green or white, and it's just like, help me out here.
Yeah.
We need to be able to tell the difference between these cars, and especially like on the little sideboard where we have the leaderboard, they're all the same color. And so I'm excited because I think what we've talked about in the past is how these teams have introduced liveries in like testing season that are so fun and so unique. And we've seen fun liveries from McLaren a few times, but they always kind of go back to basics for their like standing livery that they use throughout the season. So I'm excited. I think that this could kind of push them to go out of the box a little bit and like really give us the fun, exciting car designs that we as fans deserve.
Exactly. Like let's let the graphic designers have a little fun with it.
Truly.
Let's go a little crazy. I mean, Steak, we saw what Steak could do. They added some neon green. They have fun with it.
Yeah.
Let's all try and be a little bit more like Steak.
Like a mom looking at their kid like, why can't you be more like your brother?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it'd be really fun. Like, okay, Alpine, let's fuck around. Give us that pink camo car. Give it to
Right.
us. You promised and you did
Do
not
it, you
deliver.
won't.
I'll be waiting for it.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, so that's exciting. We'll see that hopefully as soon as next season. So, I mean, I'm hoping we hear more about it before then, but I am excited nonetheless.
Yeah.
And now we have a new segment. And this new
A
segment,
special edition segment.
special edition segment, you'll see this for the remainder of this month of June. So I believe 3 more podcast episodes. And this segment is called Formula E.
So original.
I don't have a fun name. It's Formula E.
It's
So
called It's Electric.
it's
It's electric.
okay, perfect. That's it. This segment is called It's Electric. And the big announcement here is that TG1F will be at the Portland ePrix.
Woo!
One half of TG1F
One
at least.
half of TG1F will be there. One
Yep.
girl, it's OG1F will be at the
OG1F.
Portland
Zero
Grand
G,
Prix.
0G1F, zero gas, one formula.
What's
There's
on
no gas, they're
zero?
electric. Wow, okay.
It's
I
all
think
coming together. It's all
we're
coming
on to
together.
something.
Yes. Like Kate said, I will be at the Portland ePrix at the end of the month. Kate has a wedding that weekend, so she will be unable to attend. But I'm really excited to go. We have not been to a Formula E race yet. And if any of you remember when we were doing the TG1F Academy last season, Kate was also not present for this episode, but I talked to Elizabeth Blackstock, who is a Formula E mega fan, super fan. She has been a fan of the series since the beginning. I talked to her and she walked me through everything that I needed to know and all of our listeners need to know to become a Formula E fan. So if you are excited about that, I highly recommend checking out that episode. It's one of my favorites that I've had the pleasure of recording because Elizabeth is just a homie till the end of times.
She is the best. If you haven't listened to that episode, we are going to be highlighting Formula E in this segment for the next 3 weeks. We'll have a guest on at one point to talk to us a little bit more in depth about Formula E from, the brand perspective, most likely. But other than that, we're just going to be chatting about it and kind of bringing you all up to speed on what you need to know before you see our content from Formula E. So for this first week, this first segment, I'm going to be walking you through just a couple quick hit fun facts about Formula E that you can take with you and kind of start thinking about, start noodling on them before the ePrix at the end of the month. So, what is Formula E? Formula E is an open wheel, single seat motorsport series featuring electric cars. So the E stands for electric.
Crazy.
If you guessed. The first Formula E race was held in Beijing in September 2014. So it's about 10 years old at this point, which is really exciting. And something that I didn't really necessarily catch on to, that it was like so new, but also that it's been around for longer than I thought.
Yep.
If that makes sense. Since 2020, the series has had FIA World Championship status. So maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Like, I only started hearing about it recently because it only kind of became an FIA World Championship in 2020. So, as we mentioned, races are called ePrix, so electric Prix, basically. Just a fun little play on words there. There are 11 teams in Formula E and 22 drivers. So similarly to F1, each team has 2 drivers and 2 cars. But unlike F1, there are 11 teams, not 10. The racetracks for Formula E are typically street circuits in major popular cities, in the middle of them on closed public roads. So that's where you'll see a majority of ePrix outside of a few notable examples, the first is the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City, which you might remember from the F1 Mexican Grand Prix. So they race at that same venue. And also Portland, where Nicole will be, is at the Portland International Raceway, not on closed streets in the city of Portland. So couple of differences there. Also, a little bit different from F1. I'm trying to kind of do this in like what's similar, what's different between the two, in case you are listening to this and only really have context around how F1 operates. So Formula E cars, unlike F1, are essentially all the same. So they have the same chassis. So the body of the car is the same. The batteries that they use, because they're electric, are all the same, and their tires are all the same. Teams can then develop powertrains, or like the motors themselves, or use ones manufactured by another brand. And to compare that to F1, for F1 cars, essentially the only thing that is standard across all the cars is the tires. They have the same tire supplier, but teams are mandated to create their own car from the ground up outside of the tires, other than, again, like the engines they can get from another company, or they can make it themselves.
Formula E is very similar to IndyCar. IndyCar
Yes.
follows the same set of rules.
So this is going to be the race weekend setup specific to Portland, because Portland is a doubleheader. So there are 2 races happening over the weekend in Portland that Nicole will be there for. So on Friday, there is a practice session. And then Saturday is race day for the first race. So in the morning, there's a practice session. Then there's qualifying, and then a race. And then on Sunday, same thing. Practice session, qualifying, race. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, a typical Formula E weekend always has a practice session on Friday. But then I think then again, it's like everything happens on Saturday. And if it's not a doubleheader, there's nothing on Sunday. So
Yeah,
a little bit different than Formula One, where it's like a 3-day affair. So basically what you can expect from Nicole is a little bit of everything, and 2 full races. 2 full races of content from Nicole, which will be very exciting. I will be eagerly following along from afar and hopefully making a little bit of content, watching it on my own, helping Nicole out where I can. But she is going to have a great time. So if anyone listening to this is
boots
also
on
going
the
to be
ground.
in, let us
Yeah,
know.
let me know if you want to hang. I think that there is some sort of plan to do a meetup in Portland, specifically, I think at the Sports Bra. So keep your eyes peeled for a little bit more information on that, which I'm really excited about.
We'll also be having a very fun, very special guest co-host for the podcast that weekend with Nicole, since I won't be able to be there. And when I say this is one of the only people I would want to take my place, I'm not kidding. So stay tuned. We're very excited. It's going to be a really fun weekend, and a little bit out of the usual for what we typically cover and what we typically do. So we are very excited.
Yeah, me too. So next week, we'll talk a little bit more about Formula E. And yeah, you can just expect that from us for the next couple of episodes.
Awesome. And now it's time for Social Stars.
Let's go.
We have to talk about it.
We have to talk about it.
We have to talk about it. The hot ones.
Lewis Hamilton on the hot ones. It was everything I wanted and more, I'll be honest.
It was so good. I was cheesing at my desk. Like, I was at work watching it. Like, I had my phone like sideways, my headphones on, and I was just like,
it was adorable. And I know
I couldn't stop smiling.
Like, you and I have been talking a lot lately about how Lewis has been kind of showcasing more personality. And I'm so curious what the move behind this is, because there has to be a reason. There has to be something coming that Lewis needs to have had this like PR circuit under his belt for. But it was absolutely adorable. And I'm obsessed with the fact that he was so bothered by a lot of the middle ones, and yet on the last dab he was like, I'm putting more on and I'm gonna eat the whole thing, I'm going back for seconds. It's like, okay, Lewis, we get it, settle down.
And then at the end he was like, we can run it back if you want. Like,
yeah, he's like, let's run it back. And Sean's like, I'd prefer it if we didn't, actually.
I feel like Sean really struggled more than usual on this one too.
Yeah.
I was impressed. I watched it again with Nick that night when I got home, and Nick was like, "I think Lewis might be one of the best that have done it."
I was thinking about it. I was like, it was him and Lord, where Lord like literally sucked clean the entire
She was like,
chicken
"Oh, no,
wing.
no, I need a snack. I'm hungry." She was like,
Yeah.
"I'm hungry. These are really good."
Literally psychotic
Literally
behavior.
an icon, like an icon, a legend. She is a moment.
She is a moment. But yeah, Lewis had some crazy one-liners.
Yes.
I was obsessed with the fact that Sean was like, what is like during a race, like when is a moment when you're like really fighting the car and you're trying to get the car to do what you want it to do, but it's just not doing it. And he goes, well, lately, all of the time. Like
He's like every single second.
sick burn to Mercedes. He hates
He
that car.
shat on Mercedes the entire time.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch every Singapore Grand Prix
To see
for
when
the
Lewis
past
pissed himself.
2 to 3 years to see which one it was. Like, I have to know. I have to know which one it was that he peed himself. But also not him calling literally everyone else out, being like, most people I know always pee themselves.
He's like, they're a bunch of pee pants. Fucking
Piss your
gross.
pants is cool.
But
They
you
can
know
consider me
what? You know
Miles
what?
Davis.
It was so relatable to me because I have a shy bladder.
Yeah. And he
And
was like, I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. Like I really had to force myself. And I was like, that's relatable, Lewis. Like that would be me. Like there have been times where I've had to go to the bathroom so bad, but I just simply can't.
I know that.
So
I just
Lewis,
loved
I
I
hear
loved
you. I
his
see
answers that
you.
were like so in depth and like more like he gave like more serious answers than I feel like a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Sean was like, "What's the biggest wipeout you've ever had surfing?" You thought he was just gonna be like, "Oh, this one time there was like this big wave and I like wiped out and it was
No, he
crazy."
was
No,
like,
he was like,
literally,
"Actually,
I
one
almost
time I
died.
almost drowned," and he was like, "It was actually like a really crazy experience. Like I was just under the water and I almost didn't get back up and I almost drowned." And I was like, "Oh my god,
We're sort of
Lewis!"
trauma dumping. Yeah, no,
Oh,
that
we're
was a
asking for
slay.
that.
And then he was talking about Roscoe, and he's like, yeah, Roscoe just takes dumps in front of the other other
I was
drivers'
dying,
trailers.
dying. Like iconic behavior of Roscoe to do
I would
that.
love, I'd love a study. I'd love to see a graph of if there's any correlation or causation between Roscoe shitting in front of certain drivers' motorhomes and where they end up on
Would love to
the
know.
grid at the end of the day. Like, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that graph.
If he
Someone
has the
in
poopy
data
power.
start keeping track of that. If Angela was here, we'd be able to ask her and be like, Angela, can you please keep track of where Roscoe shits? That'd be fantastic. Thank you so much. But unfortunately, we no longer have Angela to keep track of
You
Roscoe.
know, it stinks because I really would like to know.
Mm-hmm.
I love Lewis so much, and it's funny because he is just so media trained, and you can
Mm-hmm.
just tell
Yeah.
because a lot of the I'm like, "Oh, Lewis, you're good," because I'm like half the time like you didn't even answer his question.
Yeah.
Like you didn't answer his question. Like he was like Sean asked, he's like, "Oh, like what is your biggest pet peeve
Yeah.
about racing movies?" Like, I know that they
Mm-hmm.
always have them like shifting a lot and like you don't shift that much, but it looks cool. And Lewis is like, I mean, cars never really are going as fast in movies as you think. But in my movie that's coming up, like we are doing it with all of this incredible tech and it's really great. And I think it's going to blow you away. Like it's going to be really great. And I was like, okay, incredible answer because you did not answer the question. You never said what was your biggest pet peeve, but you plugged your movie and said how good it's going to be. Like, incredible answer. Also, I just thought it was funny, like, as it went on, because I was like, Lewis, I don't think you're, like, actually understanding Sean's questions right now, and it's really, really funny to me. Like,
Well,
when Sean
no,
was like,
because he was like, I'm actually dying. I
yeah,
can't.
Sean asked, like, he asked, what is the biggest, like, motorsport trend you're seeing in fashion lately? And I think Lewis took that as, like, fashion in motorsports instead of,
Yeah.
and he was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I love to dress well. And I figured if people were going to be taking photos of me, like, I am going to look good. It's like, that
And you
wasn't
know
the
what,
question, but I
though?
love that you just wanted to talk about yourself there.
Good for him. Good for him.
All in all, I loved it. I thought he did such a good job. And I think to your point of like what's coming, why is he doing this media circuit? I think it's for his movie, and they'll probably like. I wonder if we're actually going to see him in a good portion of it. Like if he's going to be in the movie and going to have to
Like
do like
I can see him doing press junkets with Brad. Like I see
exactly.
the two of them doing the rounds. AKA
Exactly. So
my
I'm
worst
wondering if
nightmare.
he's going to be in it or if he'll be doing that as like an executive producer or what. But I think it's tied to the movie.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of a movie, let's talk
last
about
weekend was a
Charles'
movie, man.
Monaco vlog. Let's talk about the
Monaco was
Charles
a
Monaco
movie,
vlog.
man.
Because I came away from that being deeply in love with Charles Leclerc.
I have a whole list of things I want to talk about it.
Let's get into it.
I've watched it several times. First of all, not them starting out with him playing the guitar.
Yeah, that was...
As if the piano was not hard enough for me. You had to show that he's also playing the guitar. I'll kill myself. Don't think I won't. Like, it's so rude of him to, like, just be so talented, and you're gonna play the guitar now? Really? It's just not
it was... Yeah, it was... And
really
he was doing
fair.
it... He was, like, doing it well, too.
I know. I was like, my fucking God, this guy. I'm pissed. But anyways, obsessed, though. Pissed but obsessed that he is also playing the guitar. I feel like we're gonna get like a one-man band album from him, and
he's gonna learn from Ed Sheeran.
First of all, a collab there would actually end me.
That would... Kate, we'd never see Kate again.
That would be the end of me as you know me. Also just like the like title slide of it coming up saying the best weekend of my life.
I know, that was really cute. That was so cute. I was like, he's so baby girl. Like, I made this video when I was in like a junior in high school and I went to Six Flags with my friends. Like, that was...
And you just like know that it like actually was the best weekend of his life, you know? Like, you know that like for the rest of his life people are gonna be like, oh, what's like the happiest like memory you have, and like he's gonna say that it was this.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so upset.
She is getting really emotional. For anyone who's not watching there, I can see her eyes glistening. She's tearing up a bit.
It's just like it's the best weekend of his life, and I like am so happy for him. Anyways, have to talk about Leo taking a piss on his floor and just being like so cute throughout the entire thing.
No, that was adorable.
And I also love that, like, I didn't even put two and two together, but like Leo's a French dog. Like, Leo speaks French.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
And the visual of Charles just picking up Leo's poop, I was like, stars are just like us.
When he was just like, Leo, are you kidding me? That's all you did? And immediately they go inside and he pees on the floor. I said, that's a mood, Leo.
And he's like, fuck, Leo.
Alex is like, is he peeing? He's like, yeah, he is. What a literal cute dog.
Yeah, so, that is the cutest dog I've actually ever seen.
That was the star of the movie.
Yeah.
Also, love that he always includes his mom giving a haircut. Though this year they were like, I think too many people found her salon after the last year. So she's like, I'm coming to your house this time.
Yeah.
Getting a little bathroom haircut. I was like, this is so intimate. Like, this is such like a little intimate setting. I feel like I'm literally a part of their family right now. Like, it was so lovely.
It was so adorable.
He's like, Mom, not too short. Like, keep it kind of long. And I was like, such a classic, like, mom.
And you know, like, no matter how many races he wins, he'll always be her little baby.
I know. He's like, Mom, this sideburn is like longer than the other. Please fix it. I was like, I love it. I love it so much. It like made me so happy. Also just obsessed with how small his apartment seems.
But I'm sure it costs $9 million.
Literally. Like, that kitchen is so deeply small.
Personally, my favorite part of the video was Charles riding his bike, and he had his pants tucked into his socks.
A classic.
I love that
move. If your pants are too flowy. So
I was like, that is
love the safety
thoughts, the dorkiest thing
from him.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite parts was him signing autographs, and then that little girl being like, give these to Lewis and Max, and it's toilet paper.
That was really cute.
Toilet paper. And he's like, I'm not gonna do that. And I was like, that is literally so precious.
He should have TP'd Max's trailer.
Like, so funny. And those girls are like, they're shit. Give them toilet paper. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I just, and like watching his friends and family watch him win, and it just being like, and he did the helmet swap with the Bianchi family beforehand. It was just like, it was such a wholesome weekend. And I feel like the stars really aligned. Like that was his weekend
Yeah.
from the very beginning. Like it just like, it felt right.
Yeah.
And I am so happy for him. Like my heart is like gonna burst. Like I feel so much joy for him and his family.
Good luck, Charles. We love you so much. He's gonna win a championship one of these days. I know it.
That'll be, I'll be signing off for good then. That'll be it for me. And that was Social Stars. And now for a very special edition of
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Fast Fashion. I don't really have anything fashion wise to talk about this week, but we're gonna do a shameless plug. This is hearkening back to the days when Nicole and I would do
we didn't
sponsorship segments, host read ad reads for our own brand.
We gotta get back into that.
That was so fun of us. That was like so funny. Like, have you heard of this incredible brand, Two Girls One Formula? Their merch is so cute. I know, Nicole.
And we stand by
more.
it. We would never preach to you about something that we didn't love. We love Two Girls One Formula merch, and you can find that at www.twogirlsoneformula.com. That's twogirlsoneformula.com.
/collections. So here's the thing, y'all. Last year we came out with a summer collection, and it was so great. It has beach towels and bathing suits and bandanas and like sick shorts and t-shirts and like truly everything and anything that you could need for a summer of fun at the beach, at festivals, at whatever you're doing at the racetrack. And we looked at each other. We were like, there's no way we're ever topping this collection. Like, it is just so good. Graphic designer Riley just hit it out of the park. Like, it was incredible. It was so good. Probably one of my favorite collections that we've ever released until now.
Unfortunately, she said bet.
Unfortunately,
and
we are outdoing ourselves.
She really did outdo herself this year.
Like, so the first thing to say here is that if you like our summer collection from last year as much as we do, get it now before time runs out. We will be taking it down forever from the store next Friday, June 14th. So get your summer collection from summer 2023 before it's too late. And at the end of this month, we'll be launching our brand new Jet Set Euro Trip summer collection. And when I tell you, truly, again, this is my favorite thing we're ever going to have released.
Yeah.
Like, it is so fun and trendy and cool and vibey, and it just like, it feels like going on a Euro trip with your friends in the summer, drinking Aperol spritzes, sitting by the water, seeing boats go by, colorful houses, flowy dresses, fun sunglasses, straw bags, flip-flops, easy breezy,
it's everything.
Girl.
It's truly everything that you could want in an
It's
F1
everything
collection.
I could ever want.
Yeah,
it is so good. I feel like there's a lot of brands that are kind of tapping into this style recently, and like, but we haven't really seen F1 merch kind of go with this vibe, and I'm just so excited. And I think that it's really fun because it is very much F1. But it's very much like, if you know, you know. If you know that this is F1, you know this is F1, but you could wear it elsewhere. You could wear it where people don't know that it's F1, and they're just going to love it. They're going to think it's a really cool design. It's a really cool piece of clothing or a really cool accessory. And it's not, because I think that sometimes what we see, and like, obviously we have our issues with like F1 team merch. It's just like, I don't need another polo with your name on it or with your sponsors' names on it. They've gotten better, but still work to be done. But it's also not a collection that just relies on like the checkered flag motif.
Yeah.
to make you know that it's motorsport. Like it is, it's just really, really great. Not to toot our own horn, but also kind of to toot our own horn because I think it's really awesome. And I'm so excited for you guys to get your hands on it. So stay tuned for the end of this month. And that's the biggest fast fashion update that we have this week. Zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Zoom, 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 zoom. Fast fashion. Had to call Nick. I was like, did you eat my chocolate bar? Oh, chocolate. I think I'll eat it now.
You ate my chocolate.
What are they selling?
Chocolate.
All right.
I remember when they invented chocolate. I hated it.
Chocolate. All right. Welcome to
A very special edition.
Girls' Room.
The girls' room.
For the girls' room this week, it's a fun taste test.
I'm really excited.
It's a fun live on camera taste test of Bianca Bustamante's new chocolate bar.
Yeah.
So this is a collaboration between Bianca and Marsada Chocolate. It is handcrafted, I believe, in Florida. No, in California. I don't know why I said Florida. In California, in Redondo Beach. And I'm gonna read the back of this box so everyone knows what's going on here. A special collaboration. Ube, the essence of Filipino desserts, holds a cherished spot in the hearts of Filipinos worldwide. To Bianca, its distinct sweetness races her back to her childhood and invokes a sense of grounding and connecting to her roots. She hopes this flavor brings the same warmth and joy to Filipinos everywhere and introduces the amazing taste of ube to those who have yet to experience it. So I am very excited. It's Marsada Chocolate is Southern California's first bean to bar chocolate company. So everything is there. It has organic coconut sugar, organic milk powder, organic cocoa nibs, organic cocoa butter, organic coconut flakes, and ube powder. So you can see the box Nicole showed you. Very fun, very cool. And we're going to do a live on air taste test. It says ube and chocolate delight. Racing fans, take a bite.
It's really cute on the little flap. It says, "Thank you for your support in Filipino," which is really cute.
Oh.
So nice little touch there.
Love. Okay, I feel like I'm Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka golden ticket.
I've got the golden ticket. All right. Oh, it has an easy open tab. Love those.
Mine was in the freezer because I wanted it to be.
Ooh. Oh, that's so pretty. They brushed the top.
Yours is a lot nicer than mine. I think mine melted in transit. Oh. So it's already kind of...
Yeah, I guess when I said, ooh, pretty, you were like, not much.
Points deducted for me on what
mine,
it looks like, but
stunning. All right, are we...
Smell? Delightful. It is only 32% cacao, so it's definitely going to be, I think, not as dark, but let's see.
Okay, yum. Smells good.
I love ube, so I was very excited for this.
Ooh. Oh. That is really nice.
I love the floralness that the ube brings to the chocolate.
Oh, that's so nice. It's not overly sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It like enhances the flavor of the chocolate. You know what I mean? Like I feel like sometimes when there's flavors in chocolate, it takes away from the chocolate and you're like, oh, this is like chocolate with orange. And now all I taste is orange with like a hint of chocolate. Like this makes the chocolate stand out and like taste so good.
Also, the chocolate itself
stunning.
Is really nice. It's a really good quality chocolate.
It's really smooth. Like and light. Sometimes I would eat chocolate, especially if it's not like really, really dark. And I immediately am like, okay, that was really sweet. You know that I like chocolate, but I don't always like, I don't like chocolate flavored things really. But this is really delicious. I'm going to try, I don't know if this is going to matter, but I'm trying it, the ube purple side down. See if that gives me a different tongue flavor, you know?
Okay, let's see.
I will say it makes the ube a little stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not quite sure if the ube is really mixed in or if it's like more like a coating.
Mm-hmm. Either
I don't know
way.
why I thought it was going to be stuffed. I
Me
thought it was
too.
going to be like a stuffed, like, you know, when they
Mm-hmm.
have caramel. This is like delightful.
As critically acclaimed food critic would say, Guy Fieri, I'd eat that off a flip-flop.
That just took me to Flavortown. One-way ticket to Flavortown, baby.
One-way ticket to Flavortown.
I could eat this
Bianca.
entire fucking bar right now.
Yeah. No, this
That
is
is
really
so
good.
nice. I'm
Yeah.
ordering some. Like, I'm like straight up putting in an order. I might get this for people as like a gift, I think.
It's interesting that there's coconut flakes in here because I'm not getting a big hint of coconut.
No, I think that's more of like for the sweetness because it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have like I think it gives it a little bit extra sweetness where it's not like chocolates. I
Yeah.
think that's why it tastes so light. I think that's
Yeah.
why it's not like overly sweet.
Because they use coconut sugar too.
Yeah.
No, that's delicious.
That is so, like I really do think I think that's like a new gift for me to like get people because I feel like it's always fun for me to give people like F1 inspired gifts because they know
Mhm.
that that's something that I love. So like I always give people something that's like similar, but this is also just like so good. So like the technical like the name of the chocolate bar itself is ube brownie. And let me tell you that tastes exactly like an ube brownie.
Yeah, this is really good.
I'm like, wow. Also, if anyone cares for the nutrition facts of these, there are 4 servings per container. One serving size is 3 pieces, which is what I just ate. 70 calories, 2 grams of protein. Not a
2
bad,
grams of
not a bad
protein.
combo. This is actually my new protein bar after the gym. Absolutely yoked. Um, I'm really, really impressed.
I am too.
I'm really impressed. It's an exclusive collection. I don't know how many of these there are going to be, but if you are interested in chocolate, get this. I'm very impressed. Go Bianca.
Let's see. One bar is $14.75. By
Really
using
quality.
organic coconut sugar and natural vanilla, we've ensured this bar is as wholesome as it is delicious. Coconut sugar provides a lower glycemic index compared to traditional sugars, while natural vanilla is rich in antioxidants. So it's also healthy.
It's also a healthy food. This is a superfood.
A part of the proceeds from this bar will support Kusina Kalinga. Sorry, I don't speak Filipino, so I hope I'm saying that right. A charity that provides healthy meals to children in need across the Philippines, which is great. I don't think there's a certain amount of ones that they're producing, but it does also, it's healthy, has 2 grams of protein, and also supports a good cause. So if you feel like
A
buying
win-win.
chocolate, this is a good place to start.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm
Yeah.
really into it. That was really delicious. I'll
Yeah.
say it. I'll say it. Bianca, so far also, I would like to say, I would love to point out Bianca Bustamante, first motorsport personality to send the 2 girls stuff from their off-track ventures.
Thanks, Bianca.
Thanks, Bia, for being a friend of the pod officially. Hope to have you on here to talk about your journey into being a chocolatier.
Yeah, can't wait. One thing I love, women in sports and chocolate. So match made in heaven.
Match made in heaven. All
All right,
right, should we bitch hour or manifest?
let's
Or
get into bitching hour. A quick bitching hour. We'll
bitching
run it
hour. So this
through.
is something that I heard about but didn't know about because, guys, I really want to tell you, you guys in the TG1F community are just so lovely. And I know this is a very interesting way to start bitching hour, but I love you guys so, so deeply that our little corner of the internet, I feel like, is just so positive and happy and like, why be upset when you can just have fun? Like, I feel like I don't even
You
see
guys embody that. You guys have
you
taken that
embody
to
that
heart. You embody that.
to the point where I feel like I don't even see like motorsport controversies anymore
Yeah.
because the algorithm is just like, nope, we're happy vibes over here. We're not seeing shit. We're not seeing hate videos. We're not seeing anything. We're just happy. So thank you guys for being so lovely. But also, I'm upset a little bit because I did miss out on some controversies, and I love to dabble, love to
Love a little tea
when it's not about me. But so here's something that I heard rumblings, but I hadn't really like seen anything about it. So I had to consult our friends in our F1 group chat. And so here's the thing. So there's been some drama because there was an influencer, a content creator, who focuses a majority of her content on like lifestyle. She became famous through the pandemic, I think, or right before the pandemic, doing like the lip sync videos that kind of the early viral TikTok stars are known for. But she was invited to Monaco by
via
VCarb.
Red Bull. Yeah.
So she was
Which we talked about in an episode with Abby that we did recently about how a lot of the influencers who get invited are all repped by CAA.
Yep.
Which she has 4 million followers on TikTok. Very likely that she is as well.
Yes. And so she was there, and there was a lot of backlash around the content that she created. So one of the more popular videos that she created that went kind of viral was when, there's that trend of like, I'm looking for
a man in finance, 6'5", trust fund, blue eyes.
And she took that and said, I'm so sick of looking for a man in finance. How about I'm looking for a man in F1, 5'8", blue eyes, like
drives fast. Yeah, something like that.
Whatever. Very funny, I think. Like, great use of the trend.
We would have done it if we were there.
Would have done it. And F1 kind of took it on and ran too. So Haas had K-Mag do a TikTok to that sound. So like she did a good job. She knows what's gonna work for social media these days. And then she also made a video where basically she was like, so glad to be in Monaco because I get to look at all the cute drivers. So there's a lot of backlash and a lot of people making like hate videos about her, being like, this girl is like setting us back so far, like she's playing into the misogynistic stereotypes. Like she's saying that, she just wanted to be there for the cute guys. Like, why are real fans not getting invited? Yada, yada, yada. Kind of, we've seen this happen before. And this is where bitching hour comes in, because I think that this is something that feels very personal to us in the way and the reason we started this community and this podcast and this Instagram and everything was we wanted the freedom to be the types of fans that we wanted to be. And I feel very lucky that the fangirl-esque communities have kind of popped off and are now a little bit more of like the norm. We do talk about how we like the drivers because they're cute, but also we like the racing, but also we like the politics, but also we like, the fashion, but also we like the wags. Like, the thing is that everyone is allowed to be a fan in the way that they want to be a fan. And that's what we've been fighting for. That's what fangirls have been fighting for. Like, and I feel like everyone is always saying, oh, women need to stop being like tested to see if they're a real fan by people. And like, I'm a woman and men are always asking me to like prove that I'm a fan before they respect me. Like, we deserve respect no matter what. But then we have those kind of same exact people turning around and basically making this content creator, this woman, prove that she's a fan before she can make content about F1. She was invited by a team and quite literally was being paid to make content about it. And it's just like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't like fight for the rights of fangirls to be able to do that, but then not allow other people to do it. And I think that it kind of frustrates me because I'm like, listen, we're doing so well. Don't turn on our own. Like, don't turn on a woman for standing on business, baby.
Yeah. Stop tearing down women who are standing on business. Exactly. And I think it comes down to where people are upset, like, oh, why aren't real F1 fans getting invited? That's not how it works. I'm so sorry. That's not how it works. And that's not how it works in any sport. If you don't have a platform, you're not getting invited unless you pay for it or you know someone on the team.
Yeah.
So
it's something that I think, I mean, listen, we'd love that. We'd love for like the biggest F1 fans in the world to be invited on brand trips or like to be invited to do things by teams. And we do see teams do that sometimes where they'll like go find a fan and bring them. But what are they doing that for? So that they can put on social media. Like F1's a business. This is a business. It's all about business. It's all about making money. It's all about
F1 is
views
standing
and
on
eyeballs.
business.
F1 is always standing on business. Let me tell you that. One thing about F1, they're standing on business. And everything that happens is about making money, getting eyeballs on what you're doing, raising awareness, and once again, making money.
Exactly.
It is called, so when influencers are invited to races, that's part of the team's influencer marketing strategy. Let's break that concept down. Influencer marketing. What's the main part of that? Marketing. It's marketing. It's not like, oh, I'm inviting Camila Cabello because I like her. No, it's Camila is going to be there kind of as like working as an influencer. She's being paid because she has something to gain from it and they have something to gain from her, which is her audience. So when we see people being upset that content creators that are more lifestyle or fashion being invited by teams, you have to think more critically. This content creator may not know everything about F1, may not have even watched Drive Survive, but they are being paid to be there because they can gain something from going to F1, which is access to a cool sport, hopefully learning about it and enjoying it, but being and making money. They're being paid. That's what they have to gain from it. And what does F1 have to gain from them? A brand new audience of people who aren't already interested in motorsports, that they can reach a new audience and reach a new segment of people. That's what they're doing. They can't only invite
Motorsport
motorsport
creators.
creators because those audiences are already invested. Those are people they already have. They're not trying to pay to get the same audience that they already have. You're paying money for a new audience. And
Turns
as
out Kate and I need to pivot. So
we
sorry guys,
actually are,
we're no
this
longer
is,
making
yeah,
content about F1. We're pivoting to a niche.
TLDR, we're lifestyle content creators now. And I will only be showing you my outfits of the day every day.
We'll be pivoting because apparently we're too on brand, and that's a
But
problem
I
now.
think that that's kind of like the difference here is that, yes, we loved that Hero Cosmetics brought us to Miami. It needs to be a combo. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
like we can't like hold people accountable for like not including people that do care and want to be there. I'm not saying that like F1 should only invite people that have never experienced F1 before and don't know anything about it. Not what I'm saying. That's still annoying. However, I think it needs to be a combo. It's like respecting the people that are doing the work and that are already in the space and have the audiences that it's valuing the audience you have while also going after a new one. Like that's the biggest thing that I think F1 and teams need to keep in mind is like
Right.
you don't want to alienate the audience you have
Right.
by not including them and not valuing them while for just trying to get. You can't just keep wanting more.
Right.
That's when the
Things are
Charlie and the
gonna
Chocolate Factory kids get turned into blueberries and drown in a river of chocolate because they just want more and more and more. They're not appreciating what they have.
Exactly.
Are we seeing where I'm going here? So,
Exactly.
but I think the other thing is that we all, as fans of F1 and fans of motorsport content creators, like we have people that we are huge fans of that are in the space. We need to be engaging with that content more.
Yeah.
Show your appreciation for the content creators that you care about, whose content you enjoy, who you would like to see go to these events. Because the thing with these larger corporations is they're looking at numbers. That's it. They don't really care about content. They don't care about like
It's
what you're
eyeballs.
doing. It's the numbers. They're only
Yeah.
looking at numbers. It's how many followers do people have? What kind of engagement do they get on their posts? And like what value can they bring to me? They don't care if you have a very small engaged community. They want a big community with the most amount of eyeballs that can be on something. So if there's a content creator out there in the motorsport world that you would love to see cover any of these races being sent to Monaco with the team, like, subscribe, comment, like engage with their content so that they can see those growth numbers and they can eventually go there. So, and this isn't me being like, guys, comment on our stuff, like, so that we can go. Like, go watch Ash Vandelay's Twitch streams. Like, her videos are so incredibly well done. And this is a woman who is like in the shit with
Mm-hmm.
motorsport. Like, she is like, she's not just there watching, like, she is in it. She is
Mm-hmm.
inside of these series, being invited in like the coolest places to do the coolest things, getting all the behind the scenes information. Like, go follow her and engage with her videos, because you're going to learn something, and she's just going to continue to be able to have the means and the resources to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Go follow Abby Rackshit and Racing Forces, who are constantly talking about, you know, the science and the technology and the data behind
The
Formula One. Like, they
politics,
do
yeah.
such a good job about taking kind of like a micro level of, but also a macro look at motorsports in terms of, yeah, like politics, data, and what these new, you know, advancements actually mean for the sport. Follow She Loves F1 if you like. She's just so fun and silly and has great content. Like, engage with her stuff. Just go out and like find people. James Coker, if you want to see him cover more races, which I think literally every single one of us does, like, if I don't see James doing a pit walk soon interviewing people,
Who wants
I'll
to see
die.
James Coker take over Martin Brundle's job?
Me.
Me.
Like, go engage with his videos, go like and comment and watch and share and save everything that he does to help him see that growth. Like, I could say so many more names right now. Like, I could literally list off names forever, but like, go support them. And that's it. That's it. If you want to see more content creators that are in the F1 world and in the motorsport world at these events instead of more lifestyle influencers, help them get the platform to get the notoriety that they need to be able to do that.
Retweet.
Now we're over.
And that completes bitching hour. And while we did end on a little bit of a positive note in bitching hour, I'd love to wrap this up with an even more positive note, which is Manifest Minute. Now, last week we said we didn't have a Manifest Minute, and our friend Maggie promptly DM'd me on our Discord, and she said, actually, that's not true, Ellen, because I DM'd you and you told me you would take care of it. And she got my ass. I said, can you please send this to the email, because I completely forgot about it and I don't want to forget about it again. So
Actually, Ellen, that's not the truth.
that's not the truth. So Maggie,
So,
thank you so much.
Maggie, were you silent or were you silenced?
So Maggie, thank you so much for holding us accountable. That's on me. I'm a fake fan. I'm a fake friend. And guess what? We're gonna do your manifest minute right now. We're gonna do it today because I feel really good about it.
Right now,
So
today's the day.
today's the day. So Maggie is in need of a manifest minute. Back in March, she found out that she has the chance to chase her F1 dreams by getting a master's in motorsport engineering from Oxford Brookes University in
So
Oxford,
cool. It is
England.
so cool.
She has had this dream to be a head of race strategy for Formula One, like our queens Bernie Collins, Ruth Buscombe, and Hannah Schmidt. Oxford Brookes is one of the schools that recruit for F1 engineers, and one of only two schools that Ferrari goes to recruit.
Incredible.
Safe to say that she's stoked to start in September, and here's where she needs manifest minute powers. She is married, and when she applied, the visa laws for the UK said that with the student visa, I could claim my husband as a dependent. Well, I applied for my student visa 2 days ago and found out that the visa laws have since changed, and dependents can only be claimed for PhD students. Obviously, this throws a huge wrench in our plans to move from Oklahoma all the way to Oxford, so she could really use the help of TG1F to manifest a simple visa application process that they will be able to move without any more major snags, and that her time 5,000 miles away from everyone I know puts her in a direction and a path to living her dreams. And she says,
I mean, if anything deserves a manifest minute, it's this, because holy shit. Let's
to go from
Maggie.
Oklahoma to Oxford, like I see it.
The F1 paddock on the pit wall.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's be
so
for real right now again, guys. Do what you did for Charles right now for Maggie.
So if everyone could please close their eyes and take the deepest of breaths in and the deepest of breaths out, and let us visualize Maggie getting a response back that actually, because they're married, all is well. The visa process is going to be so easy, and her husband will be able to move to the UK with her while she chases her dreams for her master's program. Let's visualize in 3 years, Maggie has completed her master's program and she's sitting in an interview office with Ferrari. And it's the last interview where all she has to do is shake someone's hand and say, I accept. And next thing we know, Maggie's on that pit wall. She's got a headset on and she is making sure that Ferrari is a championship winning team and putting our boy Charles on the path to a successful championship run. Now take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and let's come back to this. And I want everyone to really lock in that feeling, that emotion, by moving forward this week in making sure that you just do something kind for someone and make it easy. Do something that makes someone's life easy for them, right? It could be...
Don't overcomplicate something for no reason.
Don't overcomplicate it. We're big acts of service people this week. You know, if your friend seems like they're down, maybe buy them their favorite sweet treat from the grocery store. Or, you know, if your roommate is overwhelmed, maybe you can unload the dishwasher for them, even if it's their turn on the chore chart. Something easy.
If you see someone drop something as they're walking down the street, and it would be really easy to just keep walking, call out and say, hey, you dropped something, pick it up, give it to them. It could be something that means a lot. Like, just do something that like makes someone's day a little better, a little bit easier. You know, maybe that's their like laundry slip and they're not going to be able to pick up their dry cleaning because they don't have this slip anymore and they're going to have to, you know, go through the hassle of something. Just make people's life a little bit easier. And if you need a visual, of something to picture this week outside of Maggie and her interview, the whole time that we were talking about that, I was just visualizing the Skater Boy, that part in Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne, when she says, turns on TV, guess what she sees? Skater Boy rocking up MTV. Think about a time that you're just going to be sitting down one day to watch an F1 race. You turn on your TV, and what do you see? Maggie rocking up that pit wall on F1 TV.
Yep. Exactly.
So just think about that. Think about seeing Maggie on there and being like, let's go.
You don't know what Maggie looks like, but that's okay.
They're going to have her name obviously down in a little chevron at the bottom because
just
it's
doesn't
so
matter.
Important that they're going to be like, this is like first girl to graduate early from Oxford because she had a job offer from every single F1 team and she chose Ferrari because she loves Kate and wants Charles to win. Maggie, that's a hint for you.
Exactly. So I feel really good about it. Maggie, you'll have to keep us posted, but I don't think I know anyone in the UK visa office. But if there is anyone listening who does happen to know anyone in the UK visa office, or you work in the UK visa office, maybe let's connect and let's see how we can help Maggie achieve her dreams.
Amen, sis.
And that's all we have for you this week, folks. It's been a long one, but I think we had a
lot
to cover.
But it was good.
It was good. So we hope you enjoyed it. We hope that you are inspired to go maybe eat some chocolate. Maybe it's Bianca's chocolate. Maybe it's your own chocolate. Whatever that looks like. We'll be eating poutine this weekend. I can't wait. But until next time.
We'll see you on the internet.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of TG1F, an F1 podcast with Kate and Nicole.
If you like what you heard, don't miss out on the fun between episodes.
Keep up with the chaos on Instagram at 2 Girls 1 Formula. That's spelled out TWO Girls numerical 1 Formula.
And check out our website, 2girls1formula.com, to shop cute fan-made F1 merch.
See you next week.
But like we said, in the meantime, we'll see you on the internet.